Hello and welcome to the Duluth News Tribune's Bulldog Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Wellens, the Bulldogs hockey beat reporter at the News Tribune.
And I'm Zach Schneider, the television voice of Bulldogs hockey and Mine on Sports.
This week on the podcast, we're joined by a pair of senior defensemen from the UMD men's hockey team. First, a welcome back to the podcast. He's the captain from Hermantown. Welcome back, Joey Pierce.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And joining us for the first time on the podcast from, I love saying the name of this town, Okotoks, Alberta. We have Riley Bodnarchuk.
Yep, thanks for having me.
I love saying Okotoks. That's why I love it when all those guys commit from here. Riley, I want to start with you. Joey, we've heard your story on the podcast. Grew up in Ely, moved to Hermantown, became a Bulldog. Riley, take us through your journey from Okotoks. Again, me just working more time saying Okotoks. From Alberta to Duluth. You committed out of the AJHL in February of your age out year, which is kind of a common trend for a lot of the Bulldog freshmen not from Hermantown / Ely.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I grew up there. I played all my minor hockey there in Okotoks, and then played a little bit at Edge when I was at prep school in Calgary when I was young, but then I kind of moved into the AJ, started in Calgary and kind of bounced around a little bit and ultimately got back to Okotoks, which is kind of where I always wanted to be. And then, I had a pretty solid year there and ended up talking to UMD and it seemed like a no-brainer to come here. So, yeah.
Who was the coach that first made contact with you?
It was actually Derek Plant.
Plant, okay.
He came visit me in Camrose, Alberta, And so talked to him first and then talked to Adam Krause a little bit. So,
how well did you know who Derek Plant was? That he wasn't just a coach of the Bulldogs, but like a Stanley Cup champion and such.
I actually had no idea until I came down here to visit, and I was just chatting with him, and he took me through his hockey career, and I was pretty shocked, to be honest with you. I was like, wow, it's pretty cool. I'm sitting in a car with this guy. So yeah, I had no idea initially, but I figured it out eventually.
He just casually brought up that he had won the cup.
We were driving around Duluth on my visit, and he's like, yeah, he just started talking about his hockey career and how he kind of bounced around, started in Duluth, and then worked his way up. So it was pretty cool.
How much did you know about NCAA hockey at that point? Did you know where a couple possible landing spots would be, or was that just kind of who reached out to you?
Yeah, I knew about it. It was always kind of my plan to go play NCAA. Growing up, going through juniors, that's kind of the route. It's either WHL or it's junior to college, and junior to college was always the route I wanted to take, just kind of solely based off the education you get with it. So, and at the time of commitment, it was kind of just who was reaching out to me, and UMD was the one that kind of bit first for me, and yeah.
Why the NCAA? Was it purely the academics? Why you decided NCAA over major junior earlier in your career?
It was. I'd say pretty much academics was the main reason that I decided that. Yeah.
What were some of the options? What were some of the other schools that were reaching out to you? Did you have a lot of options in February of that age out year?
I had a few. I can't remember specific teams. There was a number of teams kind of talking to my coach and talking to me, but yeah, UMD was the first one that really kind of set something forward towards me. So,
and what was it? They had your academic program and the hockey. How did that work? Why UMD?
Well, the big reason, so Quinn Olson played in Okotoks with my same coach, and I remember sitting in the office with my coach after they offered me. He's like, well, Quinn Olson had all these programs to pick from, and he picked UMD. So to me, it's a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. So yeah, that was definitely a big reason. And then they obviously had a good program that I liked as well, and the hockey team historically was very good. So all those pieces kind of together just made an easy decision for me.
What's the academic program you're in?
I'm in exercise science and rehabilitation.
And that's what you were eyeing way back then, huh?
Yeah, I was kind of between two, kind of something pre-med and some engineering.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking at engineering when I first came here because I know Duluth has a pretty strong engineering program, but with hockey, engineering's a lot. So
a lot of math.
I opted for the kind of pre-med route.
Why is Joey laughing when you said exercise science?
All his classes, we were always joking about he's going to science class while we're going to something that's not science. We're going to music class.
Are you the brainiac on the team?
By far. Yeah.
How much science is in? When I hear exercise science, I'm thinking like gym teacher, and that's probably a bad stereotype. Take us through what an exercise science major? What would that lead to?
Yeah, a lot of it kind of sets the background for like a physical therapist or an occupational therapist, athletic therapist, strength and conditioning coach.
Susan's going to kick my butt now that I said exercise science was a gym teacher.
That's the kind of degree that it works towards. But I took a lot of like the physics, chemistry, and biology on the side to kind of prepare for the med school side of things.
So, you're preparing for med school?
Maybe.
I
did.
you did.
Yeah.
So yeah, Joey's right. That's a smart person. That we call that a smart person major on this podcast. Unlike communications majors like Zach and I. Podcast.
Hopefully that's not you, Joey.
I'm business.
Okay, good. Matt just didn't make fun of you. He can make fun of us, but
yeah. There's easy majors, and then there's hard majors that involve math and science. I chose something that avoided math and science as much as possible. Why'd you want to go into that, Riley?
I don't know. Ever since I was young, I was always kind of interested in math and science. I mean, I always kind of liked those. I was good at them growing up. So it was just kind of something that I kind of fell into. Not necessarily sought it out, but.
Yeah. What do you guys both remember about your first day as Bulldogs? Joey, we'll start with you. What do you remember about your first day as a Bulldog?
I guess for me, it might have been a little different because it was May term at that point, where the guys would stay when school ended for a week or two, and then all the incoming guys would come to town as well. And so I had already been able to work out at AMSA with a couple guys that were around, but then I remember meeting a lot of the freshmen just in the lounge that day. Which was fun and sort of at the time awkward. We were all sort of shy and didn't know each other really well at all. I didn't know many people in our class beforehand. And then I think when we came back and moved into the dorms all together, there was a lot more. I mean, we were excited at first, but just like it was really time to get going. And so that was a pretty exciting time. We had some of the older guys come and help us move into the dorms, which is obviously nice of them, but it was fun just to sort of set up our spot and see everyone back in town.
Who among those guys? We've heard stories on this podcast about Oakland, like the Oakland, between the men and the women. Everyone has a fun time in Oakland. When the guys are moving, the older players are moving you in, who in there was, as we'd say, opening the yearbook and telling stories of when I was in Oakland, sounding like the old guy on the team?
I think for me, I remember actually Carter Loney coming in and helping my group move into our place, and he was sort of reminiscent for sure on some of their times. They had a fun class, the class above us, because there was just 4 of them, so they were all right together in the same room, and no one had to leave to go see anyone else. So
I'm wondering for you, Joey, when you grew up around this program, around AMSOIL, like we'll talk to Riley about it a little bit. For you stepping into AMSOIL, to train and do everything, you've probably been in this building so many times for so many years. But is there a time where you can say like, okay, now I feel like a Bulldog? I'm not just like one of the Hermantown kids coming here to hang out with the Bulldogs. What was the first day that, okay, I feel like I'm a Bulldog now?
I think probably 2 things. When we come for that June term or May term, we get our key card to get in the rink. That was exciting, but also the parking permit for getting into the deck just says UMD hockey, and I was proud of that one for sure too. So I think just having that, knowing I can go down anytime I want, I don't need to call someone to let me in the building or knock on the window anymore. So that was probably it for me.
And excited that you didn't have to pay for parking at the deck anymore. I mean, we all pay for parking when we're not there for our UMD purposes.
Right.
None of us abuse that privilege when they just wave you by. Riley, what do you remember about your first day as a Bulldog?
Yeah, similar to Joe, I remember because I didn't know anyone coming in. Like maybe Quinn a little bit. I'd talked to him in the past, but I remember sitting in the lounge. There was probably around 12 of us, including the transfers, and we're all just kind of sitting there. A few guys were talking, but I remember, like, other than that, just kind of all the guys were very welcoming. I remember we got together after the fact, and we went around, everyone would introduce themselves, and I kind of just remember how nice everyone was off the start, kind of felt like we were building a relationship pretty quickly. So
What do you guys remember about your first practice? We've heard a lot of people talk about their first college practice was an eye-opening experience. That first real NCAA practice.
It is nice. There is some rules, and so we do kind of ease into it
a little bit.
Captain's practices, and then maybe some skates with Bronwyn, or just we do kind of start gradually, which is nice. But there is the first day the coaches are on the ice, it goes from about here to here real quickly. So yeah, I think just hearing about it and then seeing it happen was definitely, they were right when they had said that to us.
Yeah, I think just especially the first practice with the coaches, kind of the intensity and the speed was high for sure. So I think that's the thing that stood out to me initially.
Your careers coincided with the heart of the transfer portal era. Like you guys mentioned, some transfers came in with you guys, and a number of Bulldogs hit the portal either before you came here. A number have entered since. 6 of your freshman classmates were in the portal. You guys are the only two left from your freshman class. We talk about this with some of the older guys. I think Joey, you and I talked about this, how we heard the freshmen, I hear it from both the men and the women, they talk about on their first day, like, oh, we're going to be with these, these are our freshman teammates for the next 4 years. And it's unfortunately not like that anymore. I'm wondering, what are your guys' thoughts? Guys who have lived through the portal during, I'd say it's heyday right now. Oh, what are your guys' thoughts on what's kind of transpired over your careers and how that's the whole process continues to evolve?
Yeah, I think it really is kind of, everyone has a different story, a different reason. And I think we've seen that with guys leaving here and guys that have come in here. There's not really one story that's the same of how a guy entered the portal and how that went, his process going through it, which is interesting to me. It's not always just going to be your enter and you get all these offers from different schools. And I think maybe people think it's that way. But yeah, there's just obviously a lot that's going on behind the scenes that leads into those decisions guys make. And I think at times we were probably frustrated and upset with that. I don't think we have any ill will towards any guys. I do think they believed they were doing what was best for them, and I can respect that. But it is too bad. That's how it is. I think that you don't get this class as a freshman that you're gonna be with for the next 4 years, because that's not the reality anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have thought my freshman year that we would have that many guys leave, but I mean, I would never hold it against any of those guys. They made a decision that they thought was good for them, no different than the guys coming in here. So I think at the end of the day, that's the way the sport is now. So
it's a chance to talk about something that Scott has talked to us a lot about in your role, Riley, specifically when it comes to the portal. Because in a lot of other programs, you're a guy that might have entered, right? Mm-hmm. You've played that seventh defenseman role a lot, and Scott's mentioned you specifically by name a lot this season as a guy who has played a lot of years and kind of understands your role. What's been your thoughts toward that individually? Is that something you ever considered? It seems like you're back now in a really regular role, but what's been your story in that coming back now for UMD?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on it earlier in the season with you guys. I mean, I like the coaches here. I love the guys here, the community, everything, the school. It just seemed I made a commitment here when I came, so stick out my 4 years here, and I didn't really see a reason to leave, kind of thing. So
how have you seen that role? How have you become more comfortable in that role as the seventh defenseman? You're out there killing penalties. It's something that Scott has said you take a lot of pride in practice and games. So have you become more comfortable over the years here?
Yeah, for sure. And it's just repetition. I mean, the more you do something, the more you're going to feel comfortable in it. And PK is always something that I've been comfortable in. I've always kind of held that role throughout my entire hockey career. So I've always had a lot of confidence there for sure, and I don't mind blocking a shot either, so that helps.
Do you guys keep in touch with your former Bulldog teammates who transferred out? I mean, we think of like junior hockey. Riley, you had a really long junior hockey career. Guys came and go. I think you got traded at one point in your career as well. Like you go back to junior hockey, this happens all the time with guys coming and going from teams. You know, one year they're a teammate, the next they're, on the opposite team. It's going to happen if you play pro hockey. How much do you guys keep in touch with those guys?
I mean, yeah, a lot of those guys that transferred last year were the guys like I was closest with, like I lived with for the past kind of 2 years and everything like that. So I keep pretty close touch with them. I mean, I got to know them pretty well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the hockey world, you end up playing against a lot of them. And yeah, like when we went to North Dakota the first time, we got there on Thursday and we met Anthony and Zach Sandy in the hallway and talked to them for a couple minutes. And then same thing when they came here and they reached out and they wanted to go see Hoagie, which was pretty cool too. And so they went and stopped by and saw him, and like we helped them figure out the logistics for that. And yeah, it's fun to see those guys. It's fun playing against them. It's fun seeing Zach Sandy yelling on the bench just like he did on our bench. And yeah, I think the hockey world's a pretty small world, and so you're always going to encounter those guys. Another time was at Luke Lahoyt's wedding in August. It was late August, and a bunch of guys that were still on the team, a bunch of guys that transferred, we're all there, and we all had a great time together, and it was just another fun time to be around and remember all our good memories.
Is that something that's created by maybe Matt and I and the media and the fan bases? You know, when Gino and Zach Sandy come back and play for North Dakota, I mean, obviously North Dakota's got its own problems, for you as a team, but that wasn't necessarily UMD against Anthony Mangini, but are receipts kept? I mean, as friendly as you guys are off the ice, I mean, what's it like once you get on the ice against some of those guys that used to be teammates?
I think just the competitive nature of all of us, like, yeah, there's a little extra motivation that we want to, whether it's prove them wrong or we just don't want to lose to them, lose to people we know, or lose to anyone really. But yeah, I think we're maybe going to go harder in a corner against them just because we have that pride, and we did it for 2 years here together with them. And so, yeah, I don't think all week we're thinking about, I just want to beat Anthony or anything like that, but you look across and it's someone and want to compete with. And I think he wants to compete with us just as much too. And so it makes it fun, I think.
And I've talked to Shoggs when you guys play Western Michigan, he wants to put a goal in on Hampton, on those, he wants to beat his fellow War Road Warriors out there. And I'm sure those guys are just happy to try and get an ounce of revenge against anyone from Hermantown when they can. What's your guys' favorite off-ice memory from your time at UMD?
I would say it's pretty simple for me. I just hanging with the guys. I mean, it's as simple as that, whether you're at one of the hockey houses or you're at the rink. I can keep coming back to that. Spend time with the guys is definitely the best. No specific one moment, but...
Yeah, I don't think I have one either, but it's in the summer when we have golf outings as a team, or even just being in the airport traveling together, like whether it's people watching or waiting for a delayed flight to happen, we're all just hanging out together, and there's really not a lot of other distractions, and so I always cherish those memories.
What has been your favorite on-ice moment from your 4 years so far as a Bulldog?
I'd probably go with sweeping Minnesota this year at Mariucci. I thought that was pretty special just to do it, but also the fans we had in that building that were very vocal, which made it even more special and fun to be a part of.
Did you enjoy playing the back-to-back games down there instead of doing the home and home?
Maybe like logistics-wise, but I do like playing home and home because, again, it's another team that fills Amsoil when those games happen too, which is always fun playing in front of a full Amsoil crowd.
But if you're going to go down there and play twice, you might as well just beat them twice in there, right? Yeah. Riley, how about for you?
Yeah, well, I think back to, I think it was our sophomore year one time when St. Cloud was, I think, ranked like 6th in the country, and we were playing them at home, and it was probably the most packed I've ever seen our arena, and then we ended up sweeping them that weekend. I just remember that being a really cool experience, how loud our fans were and how good the weekend was. It's hard to forget.
Riley, why'd you change your number from 19 to 20 this season? This is a question for Zach here. I'm surprised he didn't start the season off hauling you in. Surprised him and Bruce don't haul all the guys that change numbers in and be like, what are you doing to us?
Yeah, I mean, I wore 20 my entire junior hockey career, and I mean, the number opened up and I just thought, I might as well switch back to the number I'm familiar with. So, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot thought put into that other than that, but.
Is there significance to number 20 or that was your junior number?
It was just the one I got stuck with in juniors and I just kept it my entire career.
19 didn't grow on you over the 3 years?
No, and I do like 19. Like when I came in and I got 19, I was like, sweet, perfect. This is a good number. But I don't know, when 20 opened up, because obviously Owen Gallatin had it for my first 3 years. So I just, might as well.
Joey, why number 18?
Well, I'll touch on his changing too. I'll see the number 19 water bottle laying around and I walk up and give it to him. And sometimes even he will just like accept it. Like he doesn't even remember he's not number 19 anymore. But I guess there's not a ton of significance behind it other than I did wear it in high school. And then I was actually, when I was coming in, I was expecting Jesse Jocks to keep it, but for his 5th year, he changed from 18 to 8. And so it opened up and it was a number I had worn in the past. And so I was happy about it too.
Zach's still bitter at Jesse Jocks for changing. That's tough. 4 years a guy has a number, and then in his 5th year,
and
changes it on you.
And Jesse, like Riley, has been pretty easy because you're big, and so it's really he
doesn't need a number.
Yeah, you
don't
stand
need
out
a number
beyond the number, right? Jesse kind of sometimes gets in those battles, and it was 18 to 8. It was not a complete. It was like you might just be missing one digit if you look down quick, and so Jesse's was harder than Riley's for sure.
Yeah, we like the big guys like Brady, Adam Kleber. We know exactly. Don't need a name on the back or anything. There's a big guy in there. What teacher or staff member at UMD has had a dramatic impact on your time here in Duluth?
Mine would be Dr. Mary Stenson. I mean, she's been great for me. She's done a lot, helped me a lot. I've worked with her a lot. So yeah, she's been unbelievable. She's always helped me when I have a problem. So yeah, she's been great.
Joey, how about you?
I guess I'd say Sue's for sure. She's done a lot for all of us, myself especially. But I actually was looking at the picture over here of Trista Anderson on the wall, and I had a class with her, and she was awesome. She knew where I was coming from, but she also pushed me, and she's also done some different sort of leadership type summits for all athletes at UMD that I've found really helpful. I enjoyed meeting her husband. We helped with some Marshall camps this summer. And then her son comes and helps with special hockey on Sunday as well. But yeah, I think Trista's awesome. And she actually used to do yoga for us during the weeks as well. So she's just a staff member too that has been helpful for me and our team, I think.
We mentioned the programs, the degrees you're leaving with. Joey, what's it? Is it a business major?
Business management and then marketing as well.
And then marketing and then Riley exercise science.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you guys want to do whenever your hockey careers come to an end? What do you want to do with those majors? Do you have particular jobs or next steps in mind? Joey, an MBA at all? Or?
I don't think so. I think I'll be done with school this May, which I'm pretty excited about. But there's different options I've looked at, whether it's some sort of product or project management. That interests me a little bit. I would love to end up back in this area one day. But right now I'm pretty open to playing hockey as well. So I haven't made any set decisions. I kind of told myself I wanted to just enjoy this year and be as present as possible. And I feel like that's been maybe surprisingly about as easy said as it was done, because I've been just enjoying coming to the rink every day, enjoying having challenges with what we're working with right now, and I haven't had to think about that too much, which I've been happy with.
Riley, how about you?
Yeah, and for me, I definitely am looking forward to have a little break from school. Just kind of play hockey for a bit. I'm obviously looked into med school a little bit, and that'll be something I look into down the road for sure, but no hard laid out plans for sure. Just kind of want to see where hockey takes me a little bit.
If you went to med school, like what are you hoping that would lead to?
I've looked into sports medicine just to kind of stay near the hockey world. Initially, I was kind of interested in anesthesiology, but sports medicine is kind of a bit more interesting to me as I can kind of stay around hockey, which would be nice for sure. So.
Talk to Suze about that at all? You haven't spent a lot of time in there with Suze, have you?
Here and there. I mean,
Here and there.
Everyone bounces.
Every
in and out
hockey
of there,
every
but,
hockey
yeah.
player eventually spends but there's some guys that have spent more time with hanging out with Sues than others over the years. And it's always interesting then how you hear about those guys that it sometimes opens up. Did you have a major injury at some point in your life that like, because that's part of it when we hear guys want to get into that field. It's sometimes a major injury sets them on that path because they got helped so well by those type of people.
Yeah, nothing really growing up. I mean, I did get shoulder surgery two years ago now while I was here.
Right.
So, but other than that, nothing crazy.
It's amazing how shoulder surgery now becomes common sometimes for a lot of you guys growing up here. Listener questions that were thrown in. Some of these are odd, and we're going to start with the oddest one first. I think this comes from, and my wife thankfully clued me into why someone asked this question. There's a clip going around social media. Barack Obama on a podcast apparently said aliens are real. Now,
I did see that.
You did see that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, for first part of this question from Elo Ren on Blue Sky, are aliens real? And the second part is, if so, who on the team is most likely to be an alien?
I guess I can go first. I mean, I do think they're real. Who on the team would be an alien? It's a tough one. Maybe Adam Guyon.
Adam Guyon. Like a goalie is the most likely answer to
Interesting
this,
guy.
right?
Comes from another part of the world. I mean, could be.
The whole Slovakian thing could be made up the entire
exactly.
time. We haven't seen him on the ice yet in the Olympics. We don't know that he's actually. We know he's there. We think we know he's there. Joey, are aliens real?
I guess I would have to say, I think there's probably some sort of living something out there. I don't know what you would call an alien. Would be my probably politically correct answer. I was thinking guy was probably a better answer, but I was going to say Hunter Anderson, maybe.
Hunter Anderson. Yeah. We've also heard that we've had him on the podcast, and we've also heard he's got a weird side, an odd duck. Him statistically is what Obama said was like statistically there's a better chance that there are aliens than not aliens. But like Joey brings up the interesting point, what classifies as an alien is like a little microbe on another planet, an alien. That's for another podcast to discuss. Angel Carl on X, and you guys kind of talked about this already. She said this is more so a question for Riley since Joey's a local player who obviously wanted to play at UMD since he was a little kid. What she's saying is Hermantown kids are like contractually obligated to stay at UMD their entire life. With all the transfer portal movements, with players looking for larger roles, what kept Riley here at UMD? And you touched on it, just your commitment to the program, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was a no-brainer, good program, great staff at the school, great coaches here. So,
And as I told my wife when she decided to take my name after we got married, I'm like, that's a lot of paperwork and a lot of work to change your name. I feel like it's a lot of paperwork and work to like switch schools and change your major and such like that. You got to find the right fit. It's a lot of work to go in the transfer portal.
A lot of work. And Joey, to jump on that, because we do live in a world of options now, right? And we've seen a lot of guys in and out of the program for various reasons, and a lot of them looking for more playing time, different roles or something like that. When you have guys, not just Riley, but when you have guys that start to embrace their roles, like Kyler Kovich came here, transferred here to play fourth line center for you guys all year, and obviously came with a job to do. That was his role. When you have guys on the team that know what their job is and do it really well from start to finish, how much does that mean to the culture of what you got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I think guys always want to add in ways they can, but there's also times when you have to understand your role. And we talked about being comfortable in a role like that. And I think one thing our coaches do a good job, whether it's recruiting in the first time or in the transfer portal, is they're not making crazy promises to kids, which I think a lot of other schools probably do. And so I think a lot of people that come in here understand that. And I think another maybe negative of the transfer portal is you don't get to see as many people. I know Adam Cross has talked to me about like Kobe Bender, who is a kid that came in and didn't have the biggest role and sort of made a role for himself, maybe not what he had been in juniors or high school, but he came in here and he developed as a player, and by his last year here, he did have a very big impact. And I think it's too bad you don't see as many stories like that anymore, because people do jump ship or look for other options.
You guys both kind of fit into that category of, when you block a shot, it can mean just as much sometimes as, one of the plants or somebody else scoring a goal. But how much appreciation is there there should be more probably, but do you feel like this is a pretty good spot for the game that you two play specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the coaches do tell us we're valued. And I think guys like the plants are the guys that are probably the loudest on the bench when we do block a shot, which is pretty cool too, that they recognize that as well. And yeah, we know they've got their job, we've got our job, and they've been doing a pretty good job of that this year.
Kobe Bender's a great name that you brought up, because I always think of the 18 and 19 championship teams, some of the most important players on that team. A Jade Miller, Blake Young, man, came up big his last season here. Billy Exel was another big. Jared Thomas had a great run his junior and senior year and such like that. And those guys are key to winning championships. You need that veteran depth. Troy on Facebook, what's your favorite moment so far this season, and what are you most looking forward to yet? Joey, I think you already touched on it. Sweeping the Gophers at Mariucci, right?
It's probably up there. But again, just like the countless times we've been on the road together, and whether we've responded to different adversities we've come through or third period comebacks, it's just stuff like that feels good. I think back to playing in St. Cloud the Saturday night. We kind of got challenged after Friday night, and then we're down going to the third, and comeback win like that just kind of proves to us the resilience we do have, and can sort of be a big message in our head and a reminder in our head down the road.
What's the best airport for people watching?
We had a pretty funny one in Seattle this year.
Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a really short layover in Seattle coming back from Fairbanks. I remember you guys were there a pretty long time. Riley, for you, what's been your favorite moment this season?
Yeah, I mean, that start of the season was fun. I mean, sweeping the U in the cities was pretty fun, and hard to pick a specific moment. I mean, obviously Joey touched on, we kind of battled resilience that entire first half, and I thought we did a really good job in that first half as well. So it was all fun. I mean, hard to pick one moment.
John on Facebook, he's got an actual hockey question here. With 4 games left in the conference tournament coming up, what has to be sharp in your game as defensemen so the Bulldogs are playing their best hockey heading into March? Not just hoping to get in, but ready to do damage.
I think one thing we've talked about a lot lately is our net front, and just kind of engaging as early as we can and as often as we can with our guy, and sort of just eliminating any sort of second chance there is. Both these teams we're going to play coming down the stretch are just going to be physical, hard teams that are going to be trying to earn the rebounds. And so as defensemen, I think we've talked about a lot, sort of attaching to your guy, and whether it's getting his stick in the air or getting him away from the net sort of as early as we can. That's going to be big for us.
Yeah, and just like Joey said, kind of the net front attachment, and even kind of attaching to guys having a good gap would be another big one, and just kind of staying in support for each other, especially in the D zone, giving options for a breakout, make it quick and make it easy.
Chris on Facebook asks, how intense can Scott Sandelin get, with 10 being Bobby Knight and 1 being Mr. Rogers? Chris is putting you guys on the spot here.
Yeah, I don't know how correct my movie knowledge is, but I think his intensity is fairly calculated for the most time, and he does know when to turn it on and when to turn it off, which I think you get that with experience, and obviously he's got a lot of that. So
yeah, I was just going to say he can get intense, but I mean, it's a good kind of intensity. I mean, it definitely helps us. So
I think we'd rather have him be intense and show us that he cares than not at all. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Duluth Bulldogs Hockeytown USA on X. How great would it be to play in a Frozen 4 in Vegas?
I mean, Frozen 4 anywhere is just unbelievable. I mean,
You guys
I've
aren't going to,
always-
if you're in the Frozen Four in Vegas, you're just worrying about hockey.
Yeah,
I mean, the
exactly.
only thing you're going to notice is, oh, hey, I can walk to the rink and it's nice
Yeah.
and warm out.
Until
exactly.
Saturday night, you probably won't even know that you're in
Yeah.
Vegas.
Well, it's a Saturday afternoon.
Is it an afternoon game? Well, I
games
suppose because it's
yeah.
got to be on TV.
Yeah,
on the
it's
East
an
Coast,
afternoon
so.
game.
Well, that makes it even better if you win. You got more time,
it
right?
does.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's always been the goal, whether it's been in Vegas or Minneapolis or St. Paul. I mean, that's obviously the goal. And, but like you said, maybe hanging out in shorts would be pretty nice as well.
Your families are going to have a great time. That'll be the one Frozen Four where the players never get bothered by their families because
Right.
they're all off doing stuff.
oh, we missed the game. How'd you do?
Did you win the national championship? Good for you. We're over at the pool. We're going to a show tonight. All right. Last question is from me. It is high school hockey playoff season, and we have a Hermantown kid on the podcast, so we got to ask him before we get Joey's prediction. Riley, have you been in Minnesota long enough to have an opinion on Minnesota high school hockey?
I
yet?
mean, I don't really know how it's structured for the most part. I kind of just follow along, but I guess I'm kind of impartial to Hermantown. That's the team I cheer for. It's the only one I really know about.
Okay.
A lot. So
Shoggs hasn't had enough time with you yet.
No.
to-
You guys are
to
getting
bring you-
converts now too.
I'll take it. It's pretty rare. He's clearly not from Minnesota.
Yeah, that's true.
Joey, who do you have winning the Section 7A title this year coming up?
The Hawks, for sure.
The Hawks?
That's my pick.
Hibbing can't get them, huh?
I don't think so. I think we last summer, almost every day, it was me, Aaron, Zam, and Ty helping coach their summer camp, and so we spent a lot of time around those guys. And yeah, we definitely feel a little bit part of the team, which is cool too. So they're our pick.
All right. That's all the time we have on the Bulldog Insider Podcast. Thank you, Joey and Riley, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You can find more episodes of the Bulldog Insider Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Like us, subscribe, and rate us for more Bulldogs hockey coverage. Visit DuluthNewsTribune.com/Bulldog Insider. Subscribe to gain access to all of our coverage all season long. Zach, Bulldogs men are at Miami, assuming a snowstorm, blizzard doesn't completely shut down all of Minnesota's airports. And the women, assuming they can get out of Duluth down I-35, will play the Gophers. No TV this weekend, I believe, right?
No college TV. We'll have the semifinal games on Saturday from Amsoil, which is why both UMD teams are on the road, so the high school teams can have the rink all day Saturday. So we'll do those games. And then the championship games Wednesday, Thursday next week before the men host Colorado College, and the women are in the playoffs next
The women
week.
are hosting, yep,
Start the
doubleheader
playoffs.
hockey one more time.
Yeah, so we got a lot of hockey
Amsoil.
next weekend, but none this weekend at Amsoil for the college.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you all for listening. We will catch you next week.